Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm waiting for you to come in. Asking already to forgive. My voice is in and out, but I believe that tonight the topic is so important that I must talk about it tonight. We must talk about it tonight. Just come on in. I'm going to give people time enough to get in. Good evening to my cousin Wendy. I pray that you had a great day. So I'm asking everybody, even as they come in, please forgive my voice. But this is a topic that needs to be discussed. So I'm giving some ladies time enough to come in. Did not put it out early, but it's very important to talk about abuse. So come on in, like and share as you come in. Even if you know of a female that's have been through abuse or going through abuse, she might want to be on this live tonight. And we're not pointing anybody out. Let me get some hot tea and forgive me tonight, but I'm going to get it across. I'm going to get it across. Um, for those that are coming in that I can't see, um, I'm dealing with a horse, being hoarse on tonight, but I'm going to make sure you're able to understand me. So I'm sipping on some hot, spicy tea, not knowing how much it's helping, but it's helping somewhat. But come on in, like and share on tonight. Excuse me. When I say spicy, I mean it is spicy with cayenne pepper. But I'm excited, waiting on a few more to come on in, and we will start um, having this conversation. Having this conversation. Good evening, Denise. I can only see those that are on the Facebook, and I know there's others on something else. But good evening. Glad to have you. I don't know where how your day went, but it was hot where I'm at. It was hot, and I found out that it was hot up in Connecticut. That the kids were getting out of school early because of the heat. And for those that come from the city, we realize that they don't have central units in the schools up there, not in the older schools anyway. But good evening. We want to talk about this abuse on tonight, that queens are protected and not abused. Queens are protected and not abused. Good evening, Annie Oliver. Good to see you on. And I know you have been on before. I count it an honor for anybody who comes on that you take your time to come on. Again, I'm going to say it several times. Excuse my voice, but the conversation is necessary. So I just have to be a little hoarse. But we want to talk about queens being protected and not abused. Living in a society where it's okay to be abused, living in communities that they make you think it's okay to be abused. And it's not. It is not. It is not. Especially if you're a queen, especially if you identify as a queen, um, and on any level, it is never okay to be abused. And I'm gonna say this while I'm saying that it is never okay for you to be abusive either. I am not biased. I'm for the queens, but I'm not that person that believes that just because you're a female, it gives you the right to abuse a man or to abuse a king. So I want to make that clear. It is never okay to be an abusive person. It's not okay. And we're talking about in the everyday life, we're not talking about protecting ourselves in different situations. But come on in, like and share. Share with some women that you know need to hear this on tonight. Um, I take my assignment. I take my assignment really not just being passionate about it, but I'm real about it. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. Um, as I always say, this is not a church event. This is me talking to people that want to hear, that don't want to feel that they're getting judged if you're on a certain topic. So that's why I am talking to everyone. And it's not a church event. We can do church. Um, um, we have a church in Orangeburg, and you can always come by on Sunday mornings, and we'd be glad to see you. But on this, I just want to keep it real with real people, real women, real men. Because as I said, I'm not biased. So it's never okay. I would never tell a woman, oh, you got every right to be abusive to a man. Now, I'm not I'm not gonna say that. But if you're protecting yourself, I come from a different place. So there is a time and a place um, because there's all forms of abuse. And I'm sorry if I sound rough. I'm dealing with this hoarseness, but I'm not gonna let this conversation go by. We will do part two next week. But I wanted to start it tonight, and whether it's in the replay or you come on tonight, we got it. The Facebook tab went out late because I was battling. Would rather I be able to come on, but I say I'll come on. Y'all know my voice is not like this, but I'm gonna come on anyway. So we want to talk about queens are supposed to be protected and not abused, and we want to look at just the word abuse. Abuse is an action that intentionally causes harm or injury to someone or something. It's an action that intentionally is not by mistake. When it keeps going on and it becomes an abuse caused by harm or injury to another person. And we know they talk about animals, but in this case, I'm talking about a person. And there's all types of abuse. All types of abuse. Um, you got verbal abuse, you got physical abuse, you have emotional abuse, you have mental abuse, you have again psychological abuse, relationship abuse. You have so many forms of abuse. And I'm going to say on tonight, Pastor Faith is going to tell you it's not okay. You can be verbal abuse, being humiliated, especially if it's your partner, your spouse. It is never okay. And a lot of times we get ourselves into a place where it does not start off as abuse, but the relationship becomes toxic. And when it becomes toxic, things will begin to pop up. And we love to ignore it. We will ignore it. So many, especially women, we will ignore it. We will make excuses for the abusive the abusive behavior. Females are good for that. We are good at making excuses for being abused. You have a lot of people that are verbally, a lot of women that are verbally abused, not just by men. I want to make this clear, even by other females, being put down, humiliated in front of people. It's not okay. Because sometimes we think it's just one sided. It's not just one sided. Abuse is abuse. I can share that I have been mentally abused, emotionally abused. I have never been physically, never physically. In all my few relationships and marriages, I've never, ever, and I can tell God, thank you, I've never been physically abused. That is the one thing I always said I would not allow. Now, I have been emotionally, psychologically, definitely abused, but never physical. I know many women who have been physically abused, um, and a lot of them get in a place where they think they can't get out. And sometimes, because they let it go on so long, it's hard to get out. There's a young lady that hopefully I can get to come on and share because she works with abused women. And I remember her teaching in a workshop that, on the outside, we'll say, oh, she's crazy, she's this, she's that. But she doesn't know how to get out. They have to have a plan. So I don't down ladies who want to get out and still trying to find a way out. That's why we need to know resources that we can point them to that can help them come up with a plan. Because it's easy on the outside saying what somebody should do. Good evening, Dr. Christine. It's easy on the outside looking in, but when you're in and don't know how to get out. But one of the things I want to share with every woman, it is never, never, ever okay to be abused. Never. And I'm going to tell you, mental abuse, that psychological abuse and emotional abuse is worse than a lot of times physical. And we will have these discussions because we say sometimes, you kind of get over that hit. But baby, when it's mental, psychological, it strips you of so much. It strips you of your confidence. It strips you of your self-esteem. It strips you of even thinking that you're worthy of a good life. Why? Because you have let yourself get into something and say that it's okay because others says okay. And the big word is, I love you. I didn't mean to do it. It won't happen again. And in some cases, it doesn't. It was that one time. But when it's more than one, I am not the one to tell you to stay. I'm going to be the one to tell you run. Because let me tell you something. Mental abuse is something hard to come back from. And I'm sure I'm not the only one happy for Karen. I know she's on there and she says it. And it's a more mental abuse, psychological abuse. Yeah, it's something. It will tear you all the way down. literally. And then when you have other females, especially if this is a male, telling you it's okay, um, you know, they made a mistake. You pounding on me is not a mistake. You using your fist or using a weapon to beat somebody is not a mistake. You don't mistakenly hit me. You don't mistakenly pistol whip somebody. That's done purposely. And when you don't know, and I always come back to this, when you don't know your worth and when you're not a priority, you will let people abuse you in so many ways. And I'm saying tonight, I'm not just talking about abuse from a male. I know that women that abuse other women, especially verbally, and even emotionally, and they know what they're doing. They literally know what they're doing. It's not okay. It is not okay. You were not made to be abused. And I know, and I'm still making it clear, it's not a church service. And I am talking generally, but there is a story that I always refer to when I think about abuse of this woman that was in the Bible and she done wrong. She definitely broke the law. And they wanted to stone her because it was law. They wanted to stone her. She wasn't in the right. I need you to understand. But then who we believe in, Jesus showed up on the scene. And he wrote down and he said, all of y'all that have not done no wrong, that have not done no evil, you be the first one to stone her. And I always say, if abuse was okay, even though that was the law, he stopped it. It is never okay for a woman to be abused. It is never okay for a woman to be in a relationship and beaten day in and day out. And it is never okay to say, well, I got his kids. Well, you still don't have his kids. When he beats you, a lot of times they'll beat you in front of the kids. It is never, ever okay to be abused. Now, for a lot of us who did not do physical abuse, now I'm gonna tell you about Pastor Faith. I don't believe in a man at no time beating on a female. So I go to this church where wherever a male did come in for one of my spiritual daughters, and they in love, because you know when y'all in love, y'all can't see nothing. Y'all blind because y'all so up on it. But I will always tell the men, if you ever hit her, we coming for you. Now people will have a problem with that because I'm talking about it's never okay to abuse. Now if you beating on her, we coming for you. That has always been what I say. And I'm not changing it. And the females tell you, and if they tried it, they don't come back. They don't even try to come our way because they know I mean that. I was like, we got women, they gangsters. We coming. We gonna leave the apostle where he at, and we coming for you. So on physical abuse, yeah, that's my stand. We coming for you, especially a male. And you gonna beat one of ours, cause we like that. We a family. So we ain't gonna do that. You jumping no female over here. We coming for you. And that somebody said, oh, Pastor Faith, that's the wrong spirit. The wrong spirit was when he put his hands on one of my females. That's the wrong spirit. So, Shamika, we coming. We coming. But I can say personally, and I've always made it known, I will never take physical abuse. I'm not going to be nobody's punching bag. Nobody. Nobody. Because that's not what we do. This mental and emotional abuse that a lot of females go through, we allow ourselves to stay in relationships so long and be just tore down, just stripped of everything. I mean, even you got so many women, I mean, with the biggest heart. On here, I know women, they have the biggest heart. They are great in every way. They will look out for anybody, love on so many. But then they get in a relationship and they give over their life. They give over everything. My best friend, she has something coming about loving and embracing. I think it was embracing me. And I find out so we can put it in if she's on Facebook and you'll see it. But one of the issues is, we talk about priority, but somebody shared with me something that happened not too long ago where this guy abused his partner. And all of them that know me, I'm just not good with that. I'm just never good with a man beating on a woman. And let me help y'all. Y'all saying, oh, those ones that's in the club and this and that. Baby, you got men in the church cutting tail with their beloved wife. I don't hide nothing. So just because a man in the church don't make him right. You got men beating their wives and then coming and shouting, if you get in my way, you might fall. And it's not gonna be in the spirit. I'm just saying. And I always got backup. Always. And so as I say, I ride with the three mighty, and then I also got some women from the foundation where I'm from. We not playing that. It is never okay. It is never okay to walk around faking, acting like this person is so in love with you and he's this and that. Because we mess up a lot of times by making these bums think they kings. We mess up a lot of times with that, making them think they kings. Know that they're abusive. Know that they verbally abuse you, that they physically abuse you, that they mentally abuse you. You walk around, I mean, crying day in, day out. This is a safe place. No, you don't have to type everything on here, but I'm not that woman that sit up here and be like, oh, well, baby, no, let's find a way out of this. Let's find a way out. Let me see what help I can get to you or get you to it, because there is. And as I said, I learned. So I don't stand there just or sit here judging women, because there are women that don't know they can get out. Then there are women that don't think they're good enough to make it on your own. But I got news for you. You are on your own. Every time he hits you, you on your own. Every time he cuts you out, you're on your own. Because when he finished doing all that to you, he's going out there with somebody else looking like he's all that. He is so sweet, and you the bad person. I don't know what she was doing, but he ain't doing this to me. But baby, just wait a while. The real the real bum will come out. Again, those that are coming on, I'm hoarse, but the conversation is too important for me not to try and talk. We'll do another part. Y'all inbox me, email me on the part, because I can talk about abuse, but I can tell you I have never, and I say that, and I'm grateful because it still is by His grace. I have never been physically abused. Never have I been physically abused. Because on one thing I can say, even with my ex, my ex-husband, he was too much of a man to ever put his hand on any woman. So it wasn't just me, any woman. He would fight a man if he saw a man trying to abuse a woman physically. And I would say, listen, you may as well leave that alone, because that woman will turn around and turn on you. I know I ain't the only one that experienced that. You go to try to help your friend, and then they turn on you and go right back in the car, in the house, with the same person that was just cutting their tail. I ain't good. I ain't good with that. I want everybody to live, and I thank God for my husband, and he's another one. Um, he doesn't believe that a man, period, should touch a woman, but he got a church full of females. So I just want them to just do right, because he just will go after their friend. And I'm like, listen, you cannot be right now. Like, they know where we at. I don't tell him women business, because he'll be all mad and ready to go, showing up at somebody's house. And I'm like, sir, we'll handle it on the women's side. But I'm glad he's like that. He's protected about the women that's under him. But again, it's not okay for women to go beating up on men either, because you got them both ways. I mean, we got a lot of depots that are females, and the guy's like, I can't hit you, I'm not gonna hit you. And they be going in, like literally. But I need women to know, because now it's so bad to our young ladies. Uh, um, our young girls are getting beat and thinking it's okay. Oh, I love this. Dr. Christine, and I say this proudly, Dr. Christine, say, I am a survivor and a thriver. I have been abused, but no more. Ladies, Dr. Christine got that up there. And I got you, Dr. Christine. I am the same, no more. I'm not taking none. Verbal, physical, none of that. However you want, if it's abuse, it don't belong to me. I I am too I am too beyond. I am too much of a queen to be treated and looked down on. And that's the attitude you need to have. Every last one of you who are listening tonight, every last one of you that will hear it on the replay, baby, no, I have had my self-esteem taken before, my confidence taken before. Never, listen to me, never will I allow that to ever happen again. Not from a male nor a female. Never. It is up to you. Only you can give people permission on how to treat you. Only you. You have that right. Only you can give permission on how somebody treats you. Only you can give a man permission on how he does you, how he talks to you. Now I tell you, I'm not playing that. My husband could never talk to me any kind of way and get up in church and preach. I promise you that. And he in here somewhere. He would tell you that's not something I'm saying tonight, trying to come up here faking nothing. I ain't faking nothing. Faking something like, oh no, 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 no. I've always said that. I've told the ones at the church I'll be the first one to make the morning announcement. And I will say, let me tell y'all about y'all man of God. And we can laugh, but they know I'm for real. You don't have that right, and I have no respect for those that do it. I don't care what all y'all say, and y'all like to quote these scriptures, touch not my anointed. If he touched me, I was the anointed. You were. Let me help y'all. When people tell you that, know who you are. Know that you are God's anointed. We're not going to have church, but that's for the people who like to give you Bible scriptures. So know who you are. I want to help somebody tonight because you got to get up out of this stuff. I want to help somebody who's listening to this replay. You got to get up out of some stuff. You give people permission to treat you like they do. I'm not even going to let a female abuse me. Well, Pastor Faith, how that goes? No. They don't have to be my husband. What that means, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me any kind of way. I am going to dismiss you so that it can stay quiet. I will not allow you to disrespect me. And you should be the same way. Listen, queens, they can only do what you allow. If you try it, we cutting it short. And you ain't gonna follow me. I'm not worried about that. I'm just gonna go about my business. Somebody might say, Pastor Faith sounded a little, however you want to interpret it. I'm good with it. People can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. But a queen should always be protected. If it's somebody, my husband say he loves me, I expect for him to treat me like he loves me. I expect for him to be my protector since he's taking the lead and he's going to be the king. I expect, and he's going to do that. Instead of verbally, you just have to know my husband. I ain't gonna say all day because he be working on his project, but several times a day it's gonna be like, baby, you know I love you. I said, I know, and then he be waiting. I said, I love you too. Y'all just gotta know me, and I'll laugh, and it's so. Shamika, y'all make sure y'all tell AD this. He says, what are they say? I said, who are they? Did anybody tell you they love you today? I said, yeah, that's what A-Day says. And he laughed and said, I'm sorry, A-Day. That's somebody that always telling everybody that she loves them if nobody told you today. But I need you to tell yourself, I am worth so much more than what I've been putting up with. Because I'm talking to somebody who's listening to me now. You are worth so much more than what you've been putting up with and tolerating. Your life, you have so much ahead of you. You have I'm trying to make sure I watch my words. Well, I'm gonna say bum. You have let these bums hold you down long enough. And not only do they abuse you in all the regular ways we know about abuse, they abuse you financially. Yeah, let me come on and help somebody. Let me help some ladies. They abuse you financially. Isn't it amazing that they always need it, and all of a sudden you become the provider? They supposed to be the protector, but you the provider. That doesn't make sense. That's not how it goes. If you're going to protect me, you're going to also provide for me. It's not going to be just, I love you, all these verbal words. I'm trying to help somebody. Thank you, Gabby. Gabby said, you're walking heavy tonight. But no, I'm saying it because my single ladies, listen, I have so much for the single ladies. Because let me tell y'all something. Y'all now waited and you got to have you didn't wait on trash. Listen, stop listening to them people that tell you, well, give them a chance to get something. Well, okay, you can do that, but wait till they get it. Don't get you in the mix. Don't get you in the mix and then talk about we don't get this. I hear the people tell you that. So if you want a miserable life, go ahead and get you a starter. But I know some single women on here tonight. They've been single. They have tried to do something for themselves. You think I'm going to encourage you to get with somebody that ain't worth a whole penny? No, not even a whole penny. They ain't worth it. Love yourself enough to know. If you come to me, you come as the provider and the protector. I know it's a new day and y'all like to provide too. That part, I'm still just old school. It's just me. But you can't be the head of me and not the head of me. You can't be the head of me and not ahead of me. Let me help somebody. You can't be the head of me and not ahead of me. Yeah, make all the excuses you want. But remember, when you make all these excuses and you get that, that's what you're going to have. You need to talk to some women who now came through and God bless us to conquer through the abuse, almost losing my mind. I had a time when I tried to take my own life based on because I love somebody so. And guess what? They ain't care nothing about that. And I'll tell every woman I see, baby, you live. You live. I'm not the one you're going to come to and ask to pray over this bum that he straightened up. I'm going to tell you now, save your time because I ain't going to waste mine. I'm not. Because I know this is the real, we talking real. We not around here trying to make all these little, these wish things and want this genie out of the bottle to come and do all this stuff. If he wants you, he'll do what it takes. Not only to get you, but make sure he's a provider to keep you. That he's a protector and he has you. And I'm going to tell you this. Some of you have kids. That is not a reason for you to take anything. No. You ain't the first one to have kids. Who is for you is for you, and they will love you and your kids. If you putting your kids to the side and putting your kids to the back for some man, an abuser at that, then you need to get your head checked. I'm gonna keep it real. Faith shares real wisdom. I'm gonna keep it real. If you got your kids home by themselves while you chasing after somebody that's chasing after several people, you got to get checked. Come on out of that. You need some real girlfriends, some real women that's just going to tell you the truth. I'll be that one. Cut it out. Your kids are more important. because they here. They here. Never put your kids on the back burner or in the back room for somebody. Because when he finish, move on to the next one. When a man start asking you for money, move on. I know somebody don't like this. It don't matter to me. I'm gonna tell the truth. That is a straight up red flag. A big one. How can he be a provider, a protector, and asking you for money? How is he a provider and protector and always putting you down, humiliating you in front of people at that? You are worth more than that. Let me tell you, don't y'all stop giving them these props they don't deserve. Talking about their king. No, they're not. That's not king behavior. A king bring you into something that's all the way set up. When he selects his queen, he brings her to the palace. I need y'all to understand this. He brings her to the palace. He's not trying to find a room. He's not trying to find a cheap hotel to play with you and then leave you. And then some of these Negroes, oh yeah, this faith, I'm gonna keep it real. And then some of them get and play and then make you pay for the room. Come on, y'all. Ain't nothing right about that. You can be slow and no better. My voice is start trying to come back, but yeah, because it upsets me when I see my queens or potential queens being run over. We're not going about what's right, what's wrong, and all this kind of stuff. Excuse me. But he got the nerve to have you pay for something. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I'm here for it. But you're not going to make that make sense to me. Because in 59 years, I've been through some things. There are mistakes I've made I don't want to see another woman make. I don't want to see these young girls make. And these young girls are out here. Let me tell you something. If you have babies, your baby don't need to have one. Because you should be so real with her and let her know, I don't care how it look or easy it look or cute it look. I had to struggle to make it happen for you kids. Stop making them think it's okay. It is not the same. Their time will be harder. It's harder for them and will be harder. So, no, am I going to put them down? No, but I'm going to say, baby, you don't want to do that. I meet young ladies and they be like, ma'am, I don't have no kids. I say, girl, I ain't mad at you. I said, then I'll ask them, do you want kids? Do you want a career? Are you where you want to be? I ask them those questions. I don't go pulling 10 scriptures out on somebody that just want to have a conversation with me. Let me help y'all. I want to make sure people know that they can talk to me. And I'm not coming in like the judge. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. I used to say this when I was younger. You ain't got to tell me I'm going to hell. They had the wrong approach. You don't approaching me telling me I'm going to hell and I'm going through hell now. That ain't what you want to tell me. That's not helping me. Tell me something that's going to help me get up out of hell that I'm going through. Then I might can visit you if I want to come to a church because you were able to talk to me instead of dragging me more than I was already dragged because some people can't hurt no more. That's how they feel. They can't even hurt no more. Then they're hurting. And you that say you are believers, check yourself. Check yourself. Why? Because somebody don't think they can make it. And you might be that conversation that lets them know, baby, yes, you can. You might be that conversation that'll be like, oh, don't try to act like you ain't never did nothing wrong. See, nothing gonna be fake about me. I can share my past history and always pray that there never be repeats. But I can tell them I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be used. I know what it's like to be embarrassed. I know what it's like to have no self-worth, no self-esteem, no confidence whatsoever. I know what it's like to walk around with fake smiles day in and day out. Or I can share that with them. I don't go to running around and just be like, yes, and this is what God did for me. Okay, they can see that, but they need to understand that I do understand. I've been there. You got women, literally, women, potential queens, getting on drugs, trying to numb their feelings, and it's not helping. Literally, women getting on drugs, trying to numb themselves because they're hurting so bad and hanging with the ones who do it and they don't even want to be doing it. They're just doing it because there is so much pain in their life. And nobody says it's gonna be all right. They're like, hey, take this, girl, this will help you. Take this hit. Take this. I've been there. Not ashamed. Let me tell you, and we say this all the time, the devil can't tell nothing on me I won't tell on myself. That's how I got introduced to drugs back in the day, because I was going through so much pain and hurt and trying to make a man want me that didn't want me, but said he wanted me. Say, hey, take this. You'll be okay. And it went from one night to another night to another night till I was on, till I got addicted. And I wasn't with no trash on the street. That's another thing people don't have right. I was with bank workers and lawyer secretaries, and I was with top-notch people who had the same issues I had. And we were wasting time, our life, and money on something that was not even a short fix. So you have many women out there, they're on drugs or trying to get off because somebody told them this is going to ease the pain. They're spending their kids' money trying to numb. But I need real queens to embrace them sisters and let them know, baby, you ain't got to live like this. You ain't got to stay out. I need the real queens that's not scared to say, girl, you want to hear the story? Let me tell you this. This is why I tell you you can make it. I'm not coming here to beat you down. I'm just letting you know he ain't going to do me no better than he would do you. You have to do this. You know, I know some people here, and some people listening, they're not going to come and let me see them, and that's good too. That doesn't matter to me because you don't see no cash up here, no cash add up. I'm not trying to raise no offering. I'm talking to real people. That's why I tell you this is not a church event, and I'm not doing that. We don't have that up. I'm doing this because it's an assignment, and I take it serious. I don't count the men out, but I'm so here for the women. I'm so here for those young ladies that think it's not going to get better for me because I'm doing this. I'm so here for those women who jump back in another bad relationship and you just keep going from one to another because you don't love yourself and you're not going to find it in the bed. I don't know, care how many tricks you know, how many tricks you learn. That's not going to fill the void. That is not going to take away that pain that you are really feeling that runs deep and you think nobody else knows about it. Oh no, it's some of us that have experienced that. It's some of us that ain't that long came up out of it. I am not that person. When you're going through hell, I don't need to send you to hell. Somebody remember that. When a person is going through hell, they don't need you to send them. They got enough going on. Matter of fact, according to how you talking to them, you might make them quit. And they say, this is it. I don't know why I switched like that, but I need somebody to hear. I need a potential queen. I need that woman that was a queen and decided to step down off the throne because she felt there was no hope. I need that one to love on. I need women to start back loving on their children because you know what happens when you have been abused so long, then you begin to abuse the ones you say you love. Kids do not deserve to be abused. And you abusing them because you're angry, you're upset. We're with somebody who really didn't care in the beginning what they said they did. Love on them babies. You know, ask. Get back to that place where you put your kids first. And I don't know why I'm saying this. Somebody gonna hear this on the replay. Put your kids first. Putting them first is not buying them brand names. Putting them first is not buying these extra expensive sneakers that you can't afford. If, I'm gonna give you an example. If I am in, and I'm glad I have a place to stay, you have a place to stay. But if I have 4 kids and I am in the projects, the apartments, or whatever, I'm going to show them. Not only am I'm going to try to make sure I do the best that my kids succeed and they get their education, I'm going to strive to do something myself. I'm going to show them that you guys are worthy of us making sacrifices so we can move out of here into our own home. I am going to be that great mother that will have ownership, show you, have something to leave you, not make you think you have to be stuck here because I had to start from here. Let me help somebody. You be that example. I am one, those that know me. Even though God knows I believe in, we're just blessed to have good fathers around us and they take care of their kids. But if that child has a no good daddy, don't you keep telling them that. Because that child didn't make that decision for that to be his father. You did. And at that night, you thought he was the best thing kicking. Do not turn kids away from their father. I always say they'll learn when they get older, or if they got one that don't show up. But if they got one that want to show up, because y'all didn't make it, don't do that to the kids. Let that man see his kids. Let that man raise his kids, and don't start that childish stuff about he with her. He ain't with you. Long as he taking care of his kids and them kids ain't get hurt, y'all cut that stuff out. Let them kids see their daddy. Now, they ain't picked their daddy, you did. It didn't work out. Okay, it didn't work out. But don't take that from them. Because you do. I tell y'all, I'm not biased. You have some fathers that want to be fathers. Then you got bums that just gonna be bums. But let them find out later they bums. Don't you keep telling them. Because they will be like, well, mama, why you picking bums? Make it make sense. Oh, my time is almost up. But don't do that. Don't hurt them kids because you want to kill them. Let them kids do stuff. Let them kids know. Your mama's not, I'm not gonna buy you $180 pair of sneakers, cause baby, we got some things that we're working on. We're trying to get a house. We're trying to get this. We're not gonna try to do what everybody else do. We're not gonna stay here. We're getting someplace of our own. Something with mama's name on it. Something that mama can leave to you. I know this is making sense to somebody because you're struggling. Stop trying to follow these other people that can't afford what they're doing. If it helps you, I'll tell you. I'll tell mine, I can afford to buy that, but I ain't buying that for you. And I got all teenagers left. I'm not paying $200 something for a pair of sneakers. You got to work to try to save up for a car. And I tell my son, I need you to understand, it's something called insurance in order for you to drive the car. So I'll put that stuff out there and let them know. You need to start looking to see how much would it cost? What do I need? What kind of schooling can I get? See, Queens, this is what y'all do. Y'all make sure not only will the kids call you blessed, the people around you will call you blessed. Because why? I'm not trying to keep up with nobody else. But I'm trying to make sure I give my kids value and valuable things, like pushing them to make sure they get their education, pushing them to know how smart and intelligent they are. Don't leave it up to somebody else to tell them. You tell them. You be that example. Come on, Queens. My beautiful Black sisters. Come on. My young Black sisters. Please, please put the value, the things that are important, so they don't think. Let them know who they are without a pair of $200 sneakers. Excuse me. And someone might say, well, mine don't cost 200. But do you have the money set aside for the education? And if they're not going, do you have something that you can have and say, look, when mama was making those sacrifices, now I'm gonna see what you're gonna do, because I'm not gonna just hand the money over to you. But when you get yourself in a place and you have your credit stuff straight and you get your finances, I got a down payment. I can help you with the down payment. Oh, that's a whole different thing. That's queen behavior. I can help you so that they know not to be wasted and doing this and doing that. You be that example. I know young ladies they were married, had to end up raising their kids on their own. Some raised sons. I'm so proud of them. Like literally, I am so proud of them because they did what people say couldn't be done. Those females raised those sons, and they good young men, great young men, and still striving. And you know what? Them young men gonna always love their mother, their mothers. Why? Because they saw They did not let what happened to them in life take them out. They began to push. Now, I didn't tell you it was easy. It wasn't easy for me. You may cry many a days, but it ain't gonna cry. I won't be crying because I'm going under. I just needed to get some more strength right there. I just needed a sister to say, okay, you got this. We gonna do this. Make those kids a priority. Those of you who are listening on the replay, like and share. Share with some women who not gave up. So they trying to do everything out there and it's not doing nothing for them. Love on them babies, y'all. Love on them babies. Talk to your daughters. Talk to your nieces. Talk to your granddaughters. I talk to mine. If they gonna listen, I don't know, but they'll never say I didn't tell them. And I don't talk with them belittling them either. I'm talking real to let them know I love you. I'm talking to them, let them know, you know, I was a teenager. I have to always tell my kids around here, y'all know I was a teenager before because they just say, Mama old. Y'all know I was sneaky too. And I let them know and they'll laugh. Oh, not you, Mom. Keep it real. Just you being real and just you loving on yourself. Do not take abuse. Queens are supposed to be protected and not abused. We'll have this conversation again next week, next Friday. If it's where I have to be out of town, I'm gonna still come on. However, I come on and have this conversation because it means so much to me. I want all of our queens, kings to make it. But y'all love on them babies. They look, love on them babies. Don't and stop trying to make them hate their daddies. They'll find out. If he ain't no good, they'll find out. And you know what they'll say? Mama never did try to turn me against. And they'll ask you, why you never said anything? Hey, we'll do like the old people should say, because it's still your daddy. I used to be mad one time, but I understand now. It's still queens not supposed to be abused, but protected and provided for. We'll go into that later, but I went over my hour. It's about to go an hour and 3 minutes, so I am going to get off. I appreciate everyone who came on. I appreciate all of those who are listening. And I appreciate everybody that's going to go on the replay, like and share. Let ladies, women know. They just share it with them. They can watch it. I hope that is helpful to many. I love you guys. Faith shares wisdom. Faith shares real wisdom. Know this, that if you didn't know any other stranger that cared about you, know that Faith Washington does. Y'all have a great night and a blessed weekend. Love you and see you next week. Good night.